It's time for Expert Alert, your chance to ask questions and get answers from experts.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on our streaming platforms for this week's episode of Expert Alert. We're here every Thursday morning having conversations with the experts, and it is a live show. So listen, if you're not watching us on Facebook, you should join us on Facebook, because this is where you're going to ask questions. We have this feed is up right now if you go to our Facebook page, and there's a little comment section at the bottom, like all live Facebooks. Just ask a question here, and then as you do that, we will give those questions to our expert. This morning is Travis Curtis from High Tide Plumbing. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing, Chip?
I'm well. Good to see you. So I think last couple of times it was really cold outside, and it says 68 degrees right now. That's not cold, but that's not hot yet.
Right. But if anybody else is like me, you can start to feel the pressure in the
Absolutely.
sinuses. You know, the flowers are blooming, the pine trees are starting to dump the pollen out, and it's time to get ready for some springtime coming around.
Spring is coming, and is this the weekend where we spring forward with the time?
It is.
Saturday
night, Sunday morning. Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, that is my favorite, I guess. Year before last was the first time I ever felt different whenever it got dark earlier, and then when we went back to regular time, I was like, this feels better.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's nice to have. Listen, at 5 o'clock dark, I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
I'm just not here for
blame
that. So with that, spring moving forward, spring is here. He mentioned it, all of the gunk, all of this. This is where you realize just how much of a Mississippian you are.
That's right.
Because the weather changes and the air gets significantly more damp.
Absolutely.
And it begins to cause problems, if not just the things you can see, the things you can't see as well.
Yep.
So whenever we start talking about spring and those warmer temperatures, what are some tips that we need to start thinking about, some things we need to start looking forward to doing as we begin to get our homes ready?
Yeah, so if anybody else is like me, when it comes springtime, I feel like you want to do the spring cleaning, you want to clean out your winter dungeon or your winter cave that you've been huddled up in all winter long. I hate the cold weather. So when springtime comes around, I feel good. We start opening up the windows. We want to start cleaning out the house and decluttering. We're taking Christmas decorations down. We're going up into the attic. We're bringing down other decorations.
You're just now taking Christmas decorations down?
No. We took our Christmas decorations down before the end of January this year. We did really good.
Gotcha.
But then I was back in the attic getting Mardi Gras decorations down. Now I'm back in the attic putting those up and getting Easter decorations down. So we're going in the attic, and we need to be mindful of that. There's equipment up there a lot of times that we need to be aware of and take a look at while we're up there.
And some of those older homes, I don't know if it's still the same, but some of the older homes have the water heater.
Mm-hmm. The water heater and the AC unit.
Right.
And so when we go up in the attic to get those decorations down, the husbands never, if they're like me, they never want to go up in the attic. I hate climbing up that stairwell and dragging down those Rubbermaid containers, but I do it, and with a smile on my face, and because I know my wife's watching, and I do it, but we just need to be aware that, hey, let's take advantage of that opportunity that we're up there. So let's go ahead and do our due diligence and take a look at this equipment. It may be. It may save you a lot of money and rule out a lot of potential damages to your home by just taking a look at that and catching something before it becomes a problem.
I think I hear a new service that you need to be offering, elevators into the attic.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
That is, I just thought of that as you were saying, because you're right. I don't like, the stairs will support me. They just feel like they're not rickety, right? But they're supposed to support your weight, but are they supposed to support your weight plus an overfilled tub?
Yeah, full of decorations.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
And the ones that shouldn't be up there, like the candles and things that should have stayed down, and then you just have one big candle.
What gets me is the Mardi Gras beads. Those things are so heavy.
And they don't smell good. Yeah. So that's getting that attic open and all of those allergens and things that come out of the attic. It's okay if you're in the garage, because mine's in the garage, but if it's in the house, now you're opening up your house to even more.
Just more dust that gets to come in there, which that would really go back to an AC guy's job, checking the indoor air quality IAQ test. We're not an AC service, but I know one of y'all's experts that comes on here, such as Tillman's, a great company, great guys over there. So I would suggest getting your indoor air quality tested by those guys. It's not really a service that we provide, but a good service to have done. But for us, whenever you're cleaning out, you're opening up the cabinets. You're going through the cabinets. You're getting rid of all that old stuff in the cabinets and cleaning it out. While you're underneath there, take a look at that drain piping. Just make sure you don't see any discoloration. Look at the bottom of the cabinet. Make sure there's no warping or bubbling of the wood at the bottom of the cabinet. Sometimes that'll show you that there's a leak that you can't even really see. Check those little valves underneath there with the water supplies that go up to the faucet. Turn them on and off. Make sure they operate properly, because you don't want to find out that they don't operate properly whenever you're in a situation that you don't want to be in.
And most houses have disposals now.
Correct.
And that whole apparatus is under there too.
Correct. So if you're underneath the kitchen sink, yeah, check your disposal. Turn it on and off. Make sure it's working properly. But you just want to use that opportunity, because nobody really sets aside time in their busy schedule to go through and do a routine plumbing inspection of their home, if they even know what they're looking at. I know for me, I've been in the trades for 23 years now, and if you was to tell me to go do an electrical inspection on my home, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I'm not an electrician. But
And that could pose a bit of a risk as well.
correct. But we do want to give homeowners the opportunity to, hey, put your eyes on it first while you're down there before you call us out there, because we understand you don't want to get us out there to just look at your plumbing. Some people do, some people don't, but use that opportunity while you're cleaning out that cabinet to take a look at everything underneath there. Turn those valves on and off and make sure that they do operate properly for whenever you do need them. Whenever you're going into the utility room and you're cleaning out the utility room, take a look at your washing machine supply lines. There's a hot and cold water line that's connected to that washing machine, and there's a drain line that goes out from that washing machine. Check those connections.
Sure.
Just do a visual inspection. Make sure they look good. That thing could be dripping behind there for a long time, and you never even be aware of it just because you don't look back there.
And if you got wood floors, you got baseboards, drywall,
It's just causing rot.
It becomes even more of an issue.
That's right.
If you're not paying attention to it. We do have watching you always. That was your wife. Always watching.
Yeah, always watching. The eye in the sky.
We do have another comment on here. My washing machine is in my garage, and the water from the hose and drain comes back out. It's done this for years. Should I get a utility sink and have the water from the washing machine drain into that?
No, because there's something going on either in the wall or under the slab with that drain. So by you adding a utility sink to drain that into, you're going to be tying into the same drain that the washing machine is tied into. So you need to fix the root problem. So what I would recommend in that situation is to do a video inspection. Just run a camera down the line and see what's going on. The camera doesn't lie, and it tells you everything you need to know. And that is something, a service we offer.
Not that a utility sink is a problem, might be helpful, but
Sure.
that's just going to exacerbate the issue.
Right, that's not going to fix the problem.
Right.
It's a good idea to add a utility sink, and we would love to do that for you. However, it's not going to fix that problem.
Sure.
Yep.
There you go, Marla. There's your answer to your question. So that's good information to have. You know, for those of us that aren't in the trade don't think of things like that, which is why it's so nice to have you here. What about, I know we talk about, in the past we've talked about flushing the water heater. Is this one of those times of the year where you recommend that?
Absolutely. A lot of times people's New Year's resolutions are New Year, New Me, health and fitness, and you know, we start on these new diet plans, and we start trying to drink clean water, but then we go home and we cook with chlorinated, contaminated water, and we jump in the shower with chlorine in it, and then we're running hot water from a water heater tank that we've never flushed. And I urge everybody to go to our Facebook page and scroll down through our videos. We actually made a video where we cut open an old water heater that we removed out of someone's home. This water heater was a small 6-gallon water heater that was underneath the cabinet, serving only the kitchen sink and the dishwasher. So they were using this water to cook with and to clean their dishes with and wash their hands. We cut that water heater open, and you could grab the scale buildup in that water heater just by the handfuls. And that's no different than the water heater that's in your attic or in the utility room. So new year, new me, new diet, fresh clean water, and then we're going and bathing in a chlorine bath and hot water that's completely disgusting. So yes, this is the time to go ahead and flush the water heater as well.
And if you're thinking about maybe you've been looking at tankless water heaters, what is the process of deciding you have to have the source, right? There are electric, but you want to focus if you have the possibility to get gas or maybe propane. What does that look like if somebody decides it's spring, I'm going to get rid of this, I'm going to get this over here? What does that time frame look like?
So If the person has a propane tank already set on the property and it's feeding the home already, or if the person has natural gas to their home supplied by the city, then we already have the source there. The turnaround time is 1 day. If you called us out there and you decided that you don't want this tank water heater anymore, we want to put in a tankless, we can get started immediately.
We have another question here from, it looks like one of our other Expert Alert experts. Do you have to flush a gas tankless water heater?
Yes.
You do? What's that process look like?
For the tank, if it's a tank gas water heater, then what you would do is you would shut the gas supply off to it. You're going to connect a water hose to the boiler drain at the bottom, and you can either run that hose to a bathtub or out into your driveway or to a storm drain at the street. We do not recommend that you run that out into the grass. It's going to kill your grass,
right,
but we're bathing in it.
Right.
So don't run it out to your grass because it's going to kill your grass, but run it out into the driveway, into a storm drain at the street, run the water hose into your bathtub and let it go down into your sewer system. And we would run that for 30 minutes straight, let that flush out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shut the water off to the water heater. Like I said, we've already turned the gas off to the water heater, and we're going to drain it down entirely. And we have a pump that'll suck that water out, and it'll suck some of that scale buildup out. But the drain at the bottom of the tank of the water heater is about 1.5 inches above the bottom of the water heater. So you'll never be able to get all the scale buildup out of there. If you have a tankless gas water heater, different process. You make up a solution, it's a descaling solution, and you tie it into the valve at the bottom of the water heater and you circulate it through the tankless. And what that does is a tankless water heater doesn't actually store water, but it has a bunch of copper coils inside that unit. It's called the heat exchanger. And flames actually blow across those copper coils that water runs through. And so as that water's being heated and atoms are being split, scale buildup is sticking to the walls of the pipe on the inside of it. And so it's important that you constantly flush that out once a year with a descaling solution to knock that scale buildup off, or you're going to start having issues with water flow and pressure and things like that.
Where do you get that descaling solution?
So you can buy it from any plumbing supply house. They make specific descaling solutions. However, you can just use regular distilled vinegar and water. So it's about a 50-to-1 ratio that you would use, vinegar to water. You put that in a bucket, and you have to have a pump that you would pump the water from that bucket, the solution from the bucket, through the water heater, and then back out into another bucket, and you just sit there and let it circulate for 45 minutes.
All right, Justin, there you go. You have your answer. We're talking about summer as well, because spring doesn't last a long time here, kind of like winter, right?
Yeah.
Or fall. None of them. It's like we have all the other seasons last 3 or 4 months, and then everything else is summer.
Yep.
And then summer's getting here, and so you're gonna have pool parties and visitors coming over and vacation happening.
Yeah.
How do we prepare for that stuff? Man,
do the routine maintenance. Be proactive. So the last thing you want at your cookout is a clogged sewer. Okay. Wintertime, it may not have been an issue, but the amount of roots that grows off of the bottom of just grass. People think I don't have any trees around my sewer line, so I don't have to worry about roots. Grass roots are just as bad. And in the summer, the grass is growing like wildfire around here, and so the roots are growing just as fast. So a small gurgle in the wintertime may quickly become a big gurgle in a clogged up sewer whenever company's over. So what we urge you to do is, do that routine annual video inspection of your sewer system. And make sure your sewer system's operating properly, and there's no external variables that we can eliminate to head off any of these problems when company's over. Because everybody knows the universe is going to make things go wrong at the worst time. So if you can head that out and cross those variables off on your own time, it's way more convenient. So why wouldn't you do it? People are going on vacations. Kids are going to be out of school soon for summer, and people are going to start going on vacations. How do you protect your home while you're not there? Well, routine maintenance while you are there and being aware of those things while you are there before you leave is always good. But what if a water line breaks while you're gone? What if a toilet starts running over and floods the home while you're gone? What do you do? How do you control that? How do you keep it from running out for a week? Most people don't have someone going and looking at their house every day when they're gone.
Sure.
So that's why we would really recommend whole home automatic water shutoff valves. It connects to Wi-Fi, connects to your phone no matter where you're at in the world. As long as you got cell phone reception and you got Wi-Fi at the home next to the valve, it's going to notify you that there's a leak, there's a problem, and do you want to shut the water off? So you can eliminate those problems, and then you can immediately get a plumber out there, and you're having that issue taken care of while you're on vacation or gone. So there's a lot of things that you can do to eliminate problems and keeping those problems to a minimum instead of letting them become a huge issue.
Yeah. Do you guys work with septic tanks as well?
We do not work with the septic tank itself. When we go out to a home and the sewer's clogged and we see that it's a septic tank that's full, then we will recommend them off to one of our industry partners that does pump out septic tanks. After you get a septic tank pumped out, we always urge you to have a plumber come out there and do a video inspection of your sewer line. Because whenever the pumping company pumps the septic tank down, there was still a bunch of solids holding in the line up to it. And just because he pumps that down doesn't mean all the solids are going to finish flowing down there, because there's not enough liquid with it. So it's just going to sit in the line. So we don't work specifically with septic tanks. However, after you have a septic service, it is a good idea to have a video inspection done on your sewer line.
Yeah, because that could be the problem in and of itself. It might not be that the septic tank is full. It might be that the line's backed up.
Correct.
Because of those flushable wipes that are flushable.
Yeah, that's right. Which, in a sense, Chet, if you have a PVC, up-to-date, up-to-code PVC sewer line installed in your home, all the way out to the street, and there's no roots growing in, it's got proper fall, the pieces of pipe were connected correctly, all that is super smooth on the inside of there. I know the city don't want me to say this because the feminine products and the wipes really cause damage to their pumps and their systems to treat this sewer. But for the homeowner, if the sewer line is ran correctly, the feminine products and the flushable wipes should go all the way out to the street.
Sure.
If they don't, it's because it's snagging on something.
Right.
The only difference between those products and toilet paper is toilet paper breaks down quicker. So toilet paper will still snag, but it just breaks down faster and breaks up and flows down the line. Sure. Whereas feminine products and wipes snag and stay and they don't dissolve. But if your sewer line is installed properly, up to code, it's not cast iron and you've updated it to now PVC, plastic, then you should really be able to flush those all the way down. And if they're hanging on something, that's identifying an issue.
That means you have a house that's built in the last 20 or 30 years.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
And it's done correctly.
Correct.
That part, there's always the human component to it.
Correct.
It's designed to work correctly if it's installed correctly.
That's right.
Yeah.
But if you just cut that pipe off square and then you shove it up into the fitting, and you think about it, there's a hard, sharp edge around there. That's actually supposed to be deburred and reamed to where that pipe snugs up into that fitting without leaving any hard edges. Yeah. Sometimes people will cut, I've seen people, you think cutting a piece of pipe straight is easy and everyone can do it. But
until you do it.
Until you do it. Or until you tell a helper to do it and he hands you a piece of pipe and it's cut on a 45-degree angle. And you're like, man, you're going to have to redo this. But it's not as easy as it looks to cut a piece of pipe square and glue it properly. Mm-hmm. If you cut that piece of pipe a little bit off square and then try to re-square it up, a lot of times it'll leave like a little burr that comes up. And when you glue it in there, now that little burr sticks up. I've seen that on brand new homes. So just because it was installed in the last 10 or 15 years and you know you have PVC, a correct installation is very important for it to operate properly.
Well, there you have it. We've answered all the questions. I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover today. You see that number there, 365-3283, HighTidePlumbingLLC.com.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, give Travis a call. Give his team a call. They're here to help you out. And they'll get you on the right track as you prepare for the warm weather, the vacations, the summertime, the pool parties, the whole nine.
That's right.
And then, of course, hurricane season's down the road. But
yeah,
we're not going to talk about that.
Well, make sure you join us on the first Thursday next month because we're going to be bringing in another one of our team members who is a insurance expert. She came from the restoration business, and so she's been on the repair side and seen how that affects homeowners and their lifestyle. And so now she's went from the reactive side to the proactive side. And so we're bringing her on to let her talk about the true value of preventative maintenance.
Sure.
and tell the community firsthand that what she actually seen from that side and now how she's using it on this side to help homeowners not have to come across these huge life-changing events.
She sounds like a Jedi.
Yes, absolutely.
Love it. All right. Thank you for joining us on this week's Expert Alert. We'll see you right back here next Thursday. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you for joining us for Expert Alert. We'll feature more experts at the same time next Thursday.